Right, so to get this done, I just have a few adjustments I want to make, around here in our constraints and our simulation properties. So first of all, in the ABD configuration, something I noticed is that, so this shrink amount, you notice this expression here is grabbing this value, and then it does the same in the other. Here you can see that's set as 0.005, whereas the collision padding is 0.02, and I prefer to keep these the same. So I'm just going to set these all to 0.05. Okay, so that they're all the same. I'm also going to set the density in the wheel to 100,000 also, as well as this is already set, so that's perfect. Okay, so adding just a bit more weight to the car. It's important to get that sense of weight right, and because of that, I'm just going to increase the height of the box, and also I'm going to increase the width in Z, the size, sorry, in Z, to catch the wheels, so it'll push up on the wheels a bit now, and also on frame 79. I'm going to decrease the value, but effectively pushing the box up higher. So if you notice, I go from 4 to 0.35. That will just pop up a little bit, just to give us a bit more of a kick on the car. Okay. What else did I want to do? So the spring here, mistake that I made, that you might have spotted. So this is not going to be doing anything because we're multiplying this value but then not doing anything with that value, and it's important to actually set the you need times equals to multiply the value by 1.1 and apply this new value to the current rest length. Okay, so make sure that you add in this equals. You can either do add rest length times equals 1, or just this is the shorthand for that. And then one more thing I want to do is in the soft constraints for the suspension and for the door, but it doesn't affect the door that much. I just wanted the door to be able to move a little bit. The stiffness, so I'm going to push up the stiffness a bit to 75. Now, again, because we've got that a bit more weight, and also the damping. So to get it a bit less springy, we'll push the damping up a bit. Okay, the lower, I don't know, I think I might have said it back to front earlier on, but the higher this value, the less of a springy motion you get, right? More damping means, well, it's damper, it's softer, it's less, you get return less energy. So I'm going to push that up to 2. And I think we're good to go with that. Let's go back into the simulation. I'm on frame 79. Press escape. So don't try and sim to there. Let's just go to frame 77. Okay. I'm just randomly framing the camera for the moment. We'll set that up. Oops. What have I done there? We'll set that up properly later. And let's just do one flipbook from here, just to see how that looks. And then we'll take it from there. Let me just make sure we start. Yeah, we'll do 100. I'll do a bit more. 120 frames. Okay, let's take a look at how that turned out. Okay, so we can notice there the spring definitely working now. We get more of this bouncing action, but not too much. Obviously, thinking about a real car, it wouldn't be bouncing around like a monster truck or something. You'd get it, like one bounce, 1 or 2, and then it stops. You can see it going up and down, and then it stops, and then we get a bit of the wheels rolling there, which is nice. I find the density, the weight of the object affects how much it can roll quite a lot. Okay, so that's something to take into consideration. One thing I'm not sure about whether I like is the fact that it's rolling back and forward. It's kind of rolling back and then forward again. But we could just kind of slow that down post sim. So we'll look at that later, make a decision on that. But it's not something we need to deal with in the sim itself. So now that we've got a working sim, we just need to cache this out. So just like before, we're using ABD IO. Okay, and I'm going to do the geometry and the points, okay, which is faster. So we just connect up the first ports and the last ports. So these are the simulation points. If you remember, they're just literally points which represent the location, you know, of all the pieces, like that. Okay, and then they'll be used to transform the pieces in here. So we need to save a rest geometry. So I'm going to make sure that I'm on the first frame of my sim before I do that. Okay, so this will save this one frame. So I'll save it into my hip is fine. Let's say week 3 geo. Do that. Okay, and then let's do sim dot rest dot geo, something like that. So make sure not to put $f there, okay, because we only want the one frame. We don't want a load of frames, just the one frame. Well, you can put $f, but it's not necessary here because we're just saving the one frame, as I said. And this will create a new folder for me. It'll be called .sim. That's fine. We'll save that to disk, and then let me copy this, paste it in here, and then I'll just remove this rest and put $f3 geo. We don't want all of these frames. I want from 77 to, I don't know, we'll just get 130. Okay, a few more than what we've already got. We might need it. It's not very expensive, you know, it's not a heavy sim, so why not? I'll save that to disk. There we go, that's done already. And then just load from disk, and that should work fine. There we go, that seems to be working for me now. It wasn't a second ago for some reason, but just make sure you're on frame 77, save that to disk, and then set your frame range. Maybe I'll do a few more actually, just in case. Save that to disk. There we go, and make sure you've got load from disk checked, and that should play super quickly for you now. Yeah, you can see we've got this kind of rocking back and forward. So I'll probably you know, remove that later on.